we'll be starting the paper reviews with The Nation. Major headline, we may not be able to field candidates in 2027, says ADC. Oyo APC group takes stand on process to pick candidates. How financial abuses led to CBN's takeover of Union Bank. Zamfara government confirms killing of 100 bandits by troops. Agency begins probe of CNG buses explosion. Here we have Tinubu to inaugurate multiple Lagos state projects. And World Bank, only 10.5% of Nigerian women in paid employment. What do we have in the papers?
Okay. We have good news from Zamfara. The state government confirmed that soldiers killed about 100 bandits, praising the security agencies for their feat in the ongoing battle against insecurity. And this was from the Commissioner for Information and Culture, Mahmoud Muhammad Dantawasa. And he said, of course, lauding it. I wanted to quote him, but there's no need. He also said that the government notes that the success represents a significant step in dismantling criminal networks and eliminating banditry that has affected many parts of the state. With all that we've been hearing across Nigeria, this is a major win. And I hope that they identified the exact bandits and it can be replicated across all states. Yes.
Okay, any other stories?
Yes, major headline. So the story is regarding the crisis happening within ADC. Allegedly, the National Publicity Secretary of the ADC has accused INEC of its plan to prevent its members from participating in the next year election. And the headline was a bit, the headline was like, we may not be able to field candidates. Well, that's because their structure, political structure, is not being recognized. Last week, I took the story where the INEC had withdrawn recognition of the interim national chairman of the party, that's Senator David Mark, and the national secretary, Rauf Aregbesola, and the party's youth wing as well have unveiled a plan for national protest, nationwide protest. So they've issued a 72-hour ultimatum to INEC to recognize the interim leadership or face civil action. But the this National Civil Society of Nigeria has defended INEC, saying that the issues that are going on is warranted and that ADC is misleading the media with what they are saying. Long and short is, if ADC doesn't sort out the internal crisis they are going through, which they say their structure still stands even though they have internal conflict, they might not be able to have any candidates. And if we recollect well, many PDP people either decamped to APC or ADC. Yeah. So the only other political opposition is ADC, and now ADC self, they don't have a party structure solid.
Yeah, I have one here. The Nigerian Customs Service, NCS, has warned over a rising wave of fraudulent vehicle auction schemes circulating on social media, cautioning the public against falling victim to impersonators posing as officials of the service. So the alerts followed the emergence of a fake account advertising cut-price vehicle sales falsely linked to custom operations.
Maybe
the development, yes. So they are raising fresh concerns within the maritime and port ecosystem, where legitimate auction processes for seized vehicles remain a critical component of cargo enforcement and revenue generation. So they made a statement clarifying that the claims being circulated online are entirely false and do not originate from the service. So people need to check properly before you go and buy from criminals and lose your money. Any other story?
Yes. Lagos rent hits 26.8 million yearly, says reports. So here we have Nigeria has emerged as one of Africa's most expensive rental markets, with Lagos ranking fourth, as rising housing costs continue to place significant financial pressure on urban residents. A report titled Average Rent of Two-Bedroom Apartments Across African Major Cities highlights the trend, showing that Lagos is among the continent's costliest location for residents residential accommodation, and the ranking places Lagos behind Abuja, Cape Town, Accra, that occupy the top 3 position, reflecting growing housing demand and limited supply across African leading cities. There are other top countries, one part of them Nairobi, Cairo, Casablanca, and some other countries. They say that they are the major one, but Lagos, according to reports by Fortran and Company, a luxury 2-bedroom apartment in Lagos, they said is going for minimum of about 26 0.8 million, and high-end neighborhood like Ikoyi, Banana Island, Victoria Island, they said they continue to attract premium rents driven by limited land availability and sustained demand from expatriate tenants and some other wealthy people. Despite ranking fourth, Lagos faced a worsening rental crisis, with analysis describing the current situation as a rental boom marked by steep price increase and declining affordability.
Okay, let's move on now to the Punch. Major headline: federal government budgets 135 billion for 2027 election lawsuits. Electricity tariff hike imminent as Genco step up pressure. Oyo APC governor aspirants meet over 2027 consensus deal. 2027 ADC alleges INEC plot against presidential bid. Doctors begin strike today over arrears. Here we have I went through hell under Amosun. This is Daniel speaking. Tinubu visits. Lagos deploys 500 additional LASTMA officers. We'll take a story and do a short break. Who's ready?
Okay, so the president is supposed to, commission certain projects across Lagos State today, and according to the Commissioner for Information, they have ginger 500 additional LASTMA officials to ensure that there's free flow of traffic. There's, ease that doesn't affect the business of other people in Lagos. And I hope that as they're saying, and General Manager of LASTMA also confirmed that the agency has finalized plans with, to station additional officers across major highways and the critical routes that links to the president's itinerary. But
would you tell us the places that they are opening so that we can avoid the area?
Obviously, maybe Link Bridge in the area. And unfortunately, I confirmed to see somebody and pass that place because we work in Ikeja. So I'll be using the map, and once I cite them, there'll be diversion, of course, so there won't be a problem.
Right.
Because when the president visited, commissioned the National Theatre, I passed there that day. It was ease. So I believe that they'll do their job.
It will still be like that. Okay.
Article to Tinubu, keep your words to stop killings. So former Vice President Atiku Abubakar has reminded President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to keep his word about the attack that happened in Plateau State, that it should make sure it should not repeat itself. Atiku, in a post on his X handle Monday, said it appeared that those words were hollow because barely 72 hours, another attack in Benue State claimed over a dozen lives. He said the commander-in-chief should brace up to the challenges of governance. The chieftain of the African Democratic Congress, ADC, said he was also concerned, like all well-meaning Nigerians, about what was going on in Nasarawa community, where families had fled on foot amid threat of attack. And as if those are not enough, there was a fresh attack in Kaduna State at the weekend. He also noted the presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, in the 2023 general election said the primary responsibility of government remained the protection of lives and property and the promotion of the welfare of citizens. Enough is enough. That's what he said.
Okay. Any other story in the Punch?
Yeah, so just a quick update on a sad story that we took a few weeks back. A student graduate in Kogi State had been murdered, and his death it was in the university, which is why I first said he was a student, but was a graduate of the University of Maiduguri. His name is Aminu Lawal. He was murdered in Lokoja a few weeks back, and friends and family have been clamoring for justice to be served. So the police did a press release saying that they have launched a full investigation into the murder. They said as a fresh graduate, he was waiting for his call-up, and on the 18th of March, he was said to have left his estate and carried his luggage on a tricycle that morning, but he failed to return. His parents escalated their worry, and their worst fear was confirmed because they found his dead body. So it's just a case of let's now find out what exactly happened to him. They said his head was smashed with a very heavy object, but they don't know who carried out the action, and the investigation has started to trace his whereabouts, and all of those that might be culpable. I pray that they get justice, especially for the family who have raised to the point of graduation and then now lost the child to violence.
Right. So painful. Okay, let's move to the Daily Sun. ADC, INEC plotting to stop us from fielding candidates in 2027. Investigates Wike's threats against Channels TV presenter. NGE Serap urged Tinubu. Kaduna Community Faults Military says 31 abducted church worshippers still in captivity. Adopts Governor Mba's template in addressing insecurity, Methodist prelate tells leaders. Another story here, gunmen kill cop, 2 others in Katsina police station, health center attacks. Ondo police arrest man 23 for alleged defilement of minor. And Lagos-Ibadan Expressway auto crash claims 4 lives and 8 injured. What do we have in the sun?
Okay, Miles Donkey, our Minister for Works, Yeson Wiki, you know, he had his usual media chat that he does very frequently. He had, at last Friday, when he was having the media chat, he had made a statement. I thought it was just figurative, but then he said, I was surprised yesterday, Thursday, totally surprised, when I was watching Politics Today. Sheun Okinbaloye, if there was any way to break the screen, I would have shot him. So the statement, I would have shot him, has been trending. So now the Nigerian Guild of Editors and the Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project has condemned it, and they have also called on the president. They said that the president should promptly, thoroughly, transparently, and effectively investigate the threats. And he should also investigate, he should also take measures to ensure the safety of the life of Mr. Okinbaloye, as well as other journalists facing threats to their safety and security solely for peacefully exercising their human rights and carrying out their legitimate journalistic work. And, you know, of course, from all quarters, ADC,
what are your own thoughts? Because we come from that area where words are used loosely.
That's why I see him. So, you know, but we know the minister and his words. You know, so even my husband was like, you shouldn't have said that. But you know the minister, and you know, that's his line. It's just that the words. But what you know, it's sensitive.
For the powerful position.
So when you speak very frequently, you speak from a point, and we should unlearn certain things, particularly even though in our region.
So we talk
if I do slap, I don't know, but it's not.
I agree.
So I have. Did anybody start the story of the killing in Katsina?
Go ahead and
State?
take it.
It's very sad in that every. So there was an attack that happened on Sunday, killing 1 police officer and 2 motorists. They said the marauding terrorists attacked a police station in Matsu local government area. During the attack, the policeman lost his life. You know, they went for the police station. The hoodlum had already, the group of people, they had already blocked Kaduna Musawa Road. They opened fire on oncoming vehicle, the Volkswagen Golf, and 2 persons were around, and those 2 died. And then from there, they went on to the police station. The governor has visited the DPO of the police station over the death of the police officer, has extended sympathy to the family, but there was a separate press statement that the Commissioner of Police, CP Ali Umar Faj, has also now deployed additional operational assets to the area to strengthen security within that area to prevent, you know, further attacks from taking place. I'm so happy there wasn't any reprisal, because obviously they knew that it was terrorists that were carrying out. But usually we're always worried that if you kill a police officer, you might end up having the entire community go down. So for now, investigations are ongoing. Our heart goes out to the family of the police officers, the entire police officer family, and even the 2 motorists, because really it's just tiring to keep taking this kind of news over and over again.
It is. Okay, the one I have here, doctors begin strike today over areas. The strike declared by the Nigeria Association of Resident Doctors, scheduled to begin today, April 7th, 2026, is already threatening to disrupt services across federal and state-owned hospitals nationwide. Resident doctors in Nigeria have spent a cumulative 51 days on strike since the administration of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu began, and a development that raises fresh concern over the government's ability to sustain agreement with health workers. Okay, this figure has shown 2 major strikes, a warning action between 2023 and 2025, and once again, the doctors are planning that this time around, they are not going to accept all the unpaid allowances and policy reversal that the government has done. They said this trigger of this new strike is because the federal government's decision to halt the implementation of the reverse professional allowance table, a key component of an agreement reached after the 2025 strike. What they are demanding, they said they should do immediate reversal of the decision to stop the allowance table, the payment of promotion and the salary arrears, settlement of 19-month outstanding allowance payments, and also the release of the 2026 medical residency training funds. They said all this, that it's a pattern that has been happening since 2023. They've still been on the matter, and even that government has also not given them money for call duty, shift allowances, and other related incentives. Like there are so many complaints that they are doing, and they said this is really affecting their welfare, especially in this worsening economic condition facing doctors in Nigeria, that they've been on this matter since 2023 in August. Until now, government has still not sorted it out.
Between Vanguard and Tribune, which one should we go
This
for?
is not the time for us to be having doctors go on strike, because we have emergency healthcare needs from all these attacks happening.
Okay, final paper for today. Vanguard, 2027 INEC laying landmines to stop us from fielding candidates is ADC. Federal government raises alarm over decline in badge operations, orders probe. NGE, NUG, Serap to Tinubu investigate threats against Akim Baloye and other journalists. Plateau attack, 7 states evacuate 1,630 students from Unijos. Union Bank, how controversial transactions led to CBN takeover. Here we have PDP crisis. Winga Hashim weighs exit option. Atiku to Tinubu, enough of hollow rhetorics on insecurity. Here we have when science exists but care fails, Nigeria's primary healthcare in crisis. And finally, Christian leaders raise alarm over insecurity persecution in northern Nigeria.
You have a story?
Yeah. Let's go.
I missed that Bengashimi.
Oh, yeah.
You have it?
No, I don't have it.
I'll read it later.
Okay.
It's just of interest.
You know, when the ADC, I took the ADC story, and the ADC was complaining that INEC might be affecting them. The president's spokesperson, Bayo Ononuga, has come out to say they should stop pointing at the president, because there's the allegation that it is the president that is causing crisis within ADC. And he's saying that no, the internal party structure has nothing to do with the president. And so they should not blame the president but take responsibility. And he was pointing fingers at Peter Obi, who they said left Labour Party, went to ADC, and is the one causing lockjam over there.
Hashim is looking for party now. Well,
Which one is your own story?
So I have the Unijos story. So 1,630 students total has been evacuated from Unijos with different states. Lagos State had 230 among them. Only Benue State, only them have 600. Adamawa had 120, and you know, across like that, each because of the volatility of the states now, they've all decided to. The university had requested evacuation from all their hostels, which all states had to see to their student safety. But this exam that they shifted is after Easter, so please, we still need security so that they can take their exams and continue their lives.
Thank you so much, ladies. That's all we can take on the newspaper reviews.